Sorry, for my own sake, I'm actually recording this. Oops. And more, if it actually ends up decent, I'll throw it on YouTube so people can go back to it, since there's like single digits in here. And then we can have a couple more single digits and get up to double digits. So, how to train your Gemini, Real Estate Agent's Guide to Gemini Pro, empowering your Keller Williams business with AI. Yes, wake up. Oh, you're on the wrong screen. That would have been so cool. I was doing so good there and failed on the first slide. How do y'all like that? I like it. All right, so let's talk about AI a little bit in general. What is it and why should you care? So think of it as your tireless assistant. So, you get tired, anyone you would hire gets tired. However, with computers, they can just run and run and run all the time. So if you ask it to do some remedial tasks or find some remedial tasks that you can get it to do, you can just, keep running it and it's never going to go, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm tired, or I want a raise. Well, it could ask for a raise. The price could go up on it. Why does it matter to your business, though? In essence, it is so you can save time, you can enhance what you're already doing with your business, you can have deeper insights, and I'm going to talk about the deeper insights a little bit too while we're there. AI is not going to have the same personal biases that you do. So a lot of times it can come from a different perspective whenever you're asking a question, or whenever you say, hey, could you help me come up with a marketing plan for XYZ property or something. It may think of something that you would never have thought of because you're like, oh yeah, that's right. It is in such and such a school zone. Whenever I was going to school here, it was actually in a different school zone or something, all kinds of fun stuff like that. It can also improve your client communications. I'm going to throw Mike under the bus for a second, not to elaborate with it, but he was in a situation where a client was being downright hostile towards him. He had to respond, but he also wanted to make sure that he wasn't responding hostile as well. So he was able to take, his response, throw it through an AI to ensure that his tone and demeanor wasn't necessarily the tone and demeanor that he was feeling at the time, but the appropriate tone and demeanor for response.
To be professional.
Exactly.
And it came back and said, this is a professional and softer version of what you said. Just to give you an idea, it was still a little harsh, even though I thought I had toned it down quite a bit.
Yep.
So yeah, it cleaned it up real good.
And the last part here, this is something that while I was putting this together, this ended up coming up and it's like, I love the wording for this. AI doesn't replace your expertise. It amplifies it, freeing you up to focus on what you do best, building relationships and closing deals. I think that's really important to realize with this too. All the different AI technologies, they're not here to replace you. They're not going to replace you. They literally take what you're doing already, and when used properly, they can amplify it. Now, to be blunt, if what you're doing is shitty now, it's just going to be shittier because it will be an amplification of whatever you put into it. So a quick look at Gemini, ChatGPT, and Claude. Oh, sorry, the spacing. I normally do a little better than that. The reason why I bring up these three is those are the most popular AI chat bots, for lack of a better term with it. ChatGPT arguably is probably the most popular. However, I'm going to be talking about Gemini specifically today because we get the Pro version for free. So we might as well take advantage of it. So first part with any of the three is you have to understand your AI toolkit. It's really not about which one is the best overall. It's about which one is the best tool for you for what you're working on. And again, specifically with the Gemini Pro, it's designed to be your co-pilot with digital environments you already use every day. And the reason why we're saying that is because Gemini is the one that's going to most easily, there we go, synchronize with like your Google Docs and your Gmail and your Google Calendar, so your Google Suite.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
When you say we get it for free,
Yes.
or whatever, through our, is that when we use our KW
Yes.
email account, not another
Exactly.
email
Yeah,
account?
it has to be through your KW. Yes, you can enable it in any account
But you pay it for it.
if you want the Pro. Yeah. Currently, it runs $20 a month, which is pretty competitive. I think Claude is the same price, and I know ChatGPT is that price. So
So these are things you would pay for on a normal, like personal account?
for the more advanced features and stuff. Yep. I forget the name. So Claude is like a third party altogether. They're supposed to be really good on the writing side of things. So no. No, it's a different venture altogether. Yeah, I did a little bit of research. I didn't go crazy with it because it's not up our alley as much. But what I did find out about Claude, it's the most popular for writers. So people that are ripping off. Exactly. Claude it seems to have the longest memory and kind of the best conceptualization for wording things. So a quick comparison, I do have the three, and actually, literally, what we were kind of talking about there. So Gemini's biggest strength is the deep integration with Google. The ChatGPT one, it's really the most popular, it's the most generic of them. And I apologize, whenever I put that on there, Claude was at the end, but I seem to have cut it off whenever I switched programs. Oh well. Claude is the best for like writing books and such. Skipping on. So let's talk about getting started with Gemini Pro first. So how to access it, and I'm going to give you a handout after we're done so you can hop into your accounts and do this yourself. But in essence, you go to gemini.google.com. I'll show you a quick, easier way to do that.
Click on the icon within the email.
Exactly.
The email account.
Yeah. So if you hit the little 9 squares from like a Google search or pretty much any Google product, you'll see the little blue star looking thing that says Gemini. And whenever you click on it, it opens that up. You'll get a disclaimer the first time you ever do it saying, hey, do I have permission to X, Y, and Z? Don't believe everything you read with AI because it can lie to you, things like that, which we'll get into that in just a second as well. Yes, yeah, there definitely is an app.
Says chat with Gemini, like the little
Yeah.
demo that's coming up?
Yep. Do make sure that you're signed in with your KW Gmail account in order to get the free Pro version of it. Again, you can use Gemini on any of your accounts. It's just not going to be the free Pro version of it if you're signed in with those instead.
To Gemini for Keller Williams Realty Incorporated, just looking through that. Continue. Okay.
And then the third part is just like you're saying, start writing your prompt. Like start talking to it, ask whatever you're trying to work on, be clear, be specific. And I do like the pro tip that it gives. Think of it as instructing a new team member. The more detail you give it, the better the outcome. Also, don't worry about getting it right the first time. Go ahead and put it into the ballpark of what you're looking for, and then whenever it talks to you, like it responds, you can talk back as far as changing directions with it. And has anybody here used ChatGPT? Yes, yes, yes. So everybody.
No.
You have not. Almost everybody. So I will say, because I was doing this, again, it's like, hey, here's this $20 tool that we get for free. Let me go play with it for a while and compare it. I personally have been paying $20 to ChatGPT for like a year and a half now. There are some things with Gemini that I really like, and manipulating your initial prompt is one of my favorites with it. So,
So can I ask another question?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, when you're saying, like, the prompt that you're giving it, is this specifically for writing emails, or are you, like,
this is whatever you're talking to it all about.
Okay, like,
Yep.
I can,
Yeah.
whatever. Okay.
Yep. Don't worry, I have 3 kind of use case that we'll run through with it.
Okay.
So I do want to break through, since a lot of you haven't had an opportunity to play with Gemini. I did want to talk about kind of the user interface a little bit with it, as far as the menu, the chat, recent chats, chat window. So just a quick rundown. So this is your chat window here. This is where our prompt. So you don't remember the KW one at all? It will. Do you remember?
It should be the same thing as your command, right?
No, it doesn't have to be. Most likely, it's the same as your website. Just instead of .kw.com, it would be @kw.com. No problem. Yeah, try that out. If it doesn't work, we'll figure it out. Right. Yeah, definitely. So the quick little rundown here with the layout. You have your chat window, so you can literally just start typing anything. Hi, Gemini, could you tell me about the national average APR for mortgages right now compared over the last, I don't know, what do you guys want, 5 years? We'll just go with yes. Cool. I will say I do have, you can speed up the chat with it, but I don't want to speed it up because then it doesn't do as much research, and I prefer waiting a little bit longer for the responses and getting a little bit more information. So it's got kind of a too long didn't read thing up here at the top, but then it does give you a chart of like 2020, you're looking at 3.11, 2021, 2.96, 2022, as y'all know, is whenever it started going up. 23 on up, 24 on up, and 25 we're actually sitting almost identical to where we were last year. Even though it did drop down for a little bit, it has started to raise back up just a little bit.
I'm so sorry. It was
You're
an
good.
accident on 85,
Oh, no.
So here I am.
Where are we
Yeah.
looking?
Yep, so we have, long story short with it, go to Google, go to one of your Gmail products, whatever, go to the little 9 square button up here, and you're clicking on Gemini. Just make sure, I know yours.
We're not opening up email?
No, you don't need to, no.
Oh, okay.
Just make sure that your browser signed in with the Ask Alice at KW. Sorry, I do know hers, but it's askalice at kw.com.
Browser is not in.
Yep.
What do you mean my browser is not in?
A little cheat for y'all
I
too.
have a different email.
Yeah.
If I need to go to my KW email, is what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay.
And depending on your browser, if you wanted to, just as a reference for that, if you're in the wrong account here, you can either add the right account and switch to it, or if you're using Chrome, you could do like a whole other Chrome thing. Exactly. Oh yeah, because it's the shared computer we're using. Yep. Blah, blah, blah. So y'all see, it gave a nice little report. So if you're trying to explain this is like way too wordy. So I'm just going to kind of change the prompt a little bit. Let's see. Awesome. Could you make a shorter version that a 5th grader would understand that I could put on social media? So this is This is where I'm just kind of manipulating the original prompt a little bit. So now it's made it much shorter. A few years ago, 2021, the fee was super cheap. It was like getting a toy for $3. Now the same fee has gone up a lot today. Costs almost $7 to rent the same amount of money. So y'all get the idea there, how that works. Also with Gemini, you have your little menu over on the side that has all the chats that you've been doing. So if I do the new chat button here, you'll notice I'm in a new chat, but I can still go over to the prompt that we had just worked on, the mortgage rate trends. Your settings for Gemini, and there's one specific one we're going to mess with here in a second, is down here at the bottom. You have the little gear. You also have a couple buttons over here. And I'm going to switch back to, we'll deal with that in a minute, the specifics on it. If you have a microphone set up, let's allow it while visiting. Hey Gemini, if it is 4 o'clock Central Time, what time would it be in Germany right now? Hey Jim, misunderstood its own name, poor thing. This is one where you probably wouldn't want the deeper thinking, but we already have it. And it breaks down, so 11 p.m. in Germany. Cool. Y'all get the idea with those buttons there. Let me get back into this. Did I miss any of these? Yes, I did. So the deep research button down here, it will slow it down even more, but it'll really pull from like just as many sources as possible to try to compile the most detailed answer for you. If you want the quick one, you can switch over to the Flash version up here at the top. It's the one that's not really going to be pulling from the internet as much and more just like what it has in its own database of knowledge. Let's see. So what kind of like basic things can you do just from scratch, really not knowing what to do with it? You could do market research. So just like I did the APR, you could feed it information or ask for information for it to give a report about the real estate market, specifically in different counties or whatever area you're trying to do. You could also create like a neighborhood profile where you give it information about, or you tell it to look into specific neighborhoods and such, know what schools are available, what the housing market's like as far as things selling and not selling. And then you can also use it, since it is doing Google searches, you could have it compare vendors for you. So you could have it, we'll do that one as a quick one. Let's say you have a client and you're buying a house with them and the roof is 12 years old, which is fine for most people, but a lot of insurance companies right now are going, no sir, that has double digits in it, they need to get a new roof. Cool. What are 3 of the highest rated, lowest priced roofers in Alamance County? And again, it's got to think about it. So would you if you started doing that Google search yourself? And I'm sure they're going to fix this at some point because they love doing it. Currently, I like doing it this way because you're not going to get a bunch of paid advertisements. You're actually going to get like actual search results. Whereas like your Google search, you're going to have a ton of the paid advertisers exactly are going to be showing up first. So they're suggesting All About Roofing, Big Anchor Roofing and Gutters, Superior Roofing and Gutters. We're going to switch just from a 101 class to a 201 class real quick, just for funsies on this one. So I feel lazy. I need to tell my clients about this though. I'm going to click this little canvas button and I'm going to say, fantastic. Could you give this to, or let's see, could you turn this into an email for my buyer client named John? A lot of waiting in this. I apologize, y'all. I should have come up. I should have had 20 knock jokes or something lined up while we waited. So as you see, it turned it right into an email address. It made it much more simplistic than the big long detailed list that you had. I'm also going to put, let's see, this canvas thing I really like. So this is actually editable at this point, by the way. Jim. My name's not Jim. So I'm able to actually, and this is what I really prefer with Gemini over ChatGPT, I'm able to manipulate this on the fly, like very quick and easy. Instead of being like, oh, replace Jim with Daniel, I can actually go in there and change it to Daniel. So whenever I do my copy and paste, this is already in the format that I want it to be.
And you did that through the canvas button down here?
Yeah, so the canvas button opens it up over on the side. So I can work on this and it can work on this and we can go back and forth. I also want add an introduction explaining how insurance companies require a roof to be less than 10 years old very often to be considered insurable in this area. Make it sound apologetic. I don't know. I'm not even spelling it right, but I'll figure it out. Probably. I do enjoy that with AI as well. Thankfully, for someone like me who has terrible spelling, it's able to figure out what I was going for anyway. Let's see, I'm sorry to be the bearer of what might be some frustrating news. I've been looking into the insurance side of things for the property, and it's become clear that many insurance companies in our area have a strict requirement that a home's roof must be less than 10 years old to be considered insurable. I know this isn't ideal, but to ensure we get the property properly insured without any issues, it looks like we'll need to we'll have to address the roof. And then, again, it gives that information. So y'all get the idea. And from this point, you could literally just go, boop, copy this. Well, not my computer, so it doesn't remember that I go to Gmail occasionally. And I did notice I left the prompt up here at the top, not a problem. But it has that researched information. I'm able to put it in there. The last thing I did notice, sorry, I did forget to put this. Could you put the contact information for those roofers?
You can't email from there, Daniel, like even though it says that at the top, or share at it.
So it has some options with it. Let me let this edit this and then I'll click that button. It does have some unique things you can do with it outside of that. All right, so now we have the phone numbers and the web addresses put in there as well.
That is just crazy.
So the options for the sharing is you can export it to a document. So you can instantly, if this is a document you're working on, instead of you going and creating the document, you could have it instantly go to that. You can also I do Control All and then Control C to copy, but there is a copy contents button instead. There's also a create button that I honestly haven't had an opportunity to play with this. I wasn't overly concerned about it for this class because it immediately looked like 200 and 300 level stuff. But it looks like you could turn it into like web pages, infographics, quizzes, and an audio overview. Speaking of, when you are still in the not canvas mode, you actually do have a audio option as well sometimes. I will say some things will kind of come and go as you're using these. It's kind of weird. And also be careful because sometimes it will lie to you. So always fact check stuff on it. Don't just say that it's truth.
Have you determined whether it's liberal or conservative? Because
So actually, funny thing about that, whenever I first started playing with it, I have found that Gemini is a little bit more liberal, just a little bit. So I did the same search on 2 different ones. I used ChatGPT and I used Gemini. And I was trying to find the origin of a quote, which is rich people write books and poor people don't read. So I just wanted to know the origin of it because I've heard it from a couple different places. I put into ChatGPT and it's like, well, we can't really find the origin, but here's like some different books and stuff that went in, etc. I did the prompt in Gemini and it kind of went social justice warrior on me and was like, you need to stop looking at things that way. Poor people can't help that they can't read. And I'm out. Exactly. Like, yeah, I just wanted information. I didn't need to.
Are you gonna explain the video button right there?
The video, yes. Okay. So I wasn't planning on it. The video button is one of these shiny toys that I don't suggest playing with right now. It is absolutely useless. Hold on. Video. I want a gorilla in a car telling dad jokes. Please. I'm always polite to mine. You don't have to be polite. They actually tell you that you're wasting energy by being polite, but it just seems to respond nicer to me whenever I'm nice to it. So. My prompt was, I want a gorilla in a car telling dad jokes, please. So, and we'll give it a minute here.
you need to go to TikTok for that, because I've seen it.
Yeah. Not the one with Gemini though. It's a little bit on the useless side right this moment, but it's getting there. It actually did do that to me yesterday. I did click the button just for the funsies, and it ended up coming back with, hey, so a lot of people are doing this right now. We can't get to your request. So, all right.
Okay, there you
There we
go.
go. Yeah. So you see, it does a thing, but it's very, very hard to actually like manipulate it and turn it into a usable thing. In my opinion, you guys may be able to sit there and come up with something amazing with it. And I wish you all the luck. Let's see. Kind of rerouting around here. Something else that is very nice to do with your Gemini is to turn it into your personal marketing agency. So whenever you're writing your listing descriptions, or you're working on a social media posts, or coming up for a script if you wanted to do like a kind of social media again, but like just some kind of video or something, run it through. Use it as a listening board to kind of talk through what you're trying to do. Give it all the information about the property and ask for write a compelling and luxurious MLS listing. Things like that, so it points in the right direction.
So one thing I learned with this, so like I've been using ChatGPT and I try to do a property description in Gemini, and when you start with it, it does have to learn you like,
Yes.
like it didn't put like how many, and it wanted me to, it was like, hey,
Mhm.
put how many bedrooms with ChatGPT, so I was like, can you not do this for me all online?
Right.
And then it did it for me, and then now when I do it, it automatically.
Mhm.
Through Gemini?
Yeah, Gemini. At first, I was like, "Oh, the phone
Yeah.
like this," because it was asking me to do some of the work.
Mhm.
And I said, "Can you not do this?"
So you
And
mean
it
like
did it.
property description for 123 Main
No.
Street?
Yeah, and it
And you
was just
wanted
like
a
it told a
paragraph.
little about it. It didn't have like how many bedrooms or anything, like not real
Mm-hmm.
detailed descriptions. And it asked me to upload it to do it, but then
Okay.
Yep.
you don't have to do it. I just asked it, "Will you just do it for me?"
Yeah.
So the first few times you may have to write it out yourself and then
So
put it
it
in to
Mhm.
edit or refine it, polish it, right?
Yep. Exactly.
And what Sam's saying is that you start to learn your techniques of what you do and how you do it.
Sounded like you just challenged it.
And then
Mhm.
does Gemini? I haven't messed with it enough. Does it give you options like ChatGPT? Like I know ChatGPT. Do you like this version or this version better?
I have not seen any of
I haven't
those.
seen it yet.
I'm not gonna lie. I loved and hated that feature with ChatGPT because most of the time I wanted something in between the two, and whenever you click on which one you like, it makes the other one just go off into the ether. So it's kind of like I don't want to choose. I want, but
If you kind of like it, you might want to copy it.
yeah. Well, and that's the problem. Like where it is whenever you're doing ChatGPT. Sorry, y'all. Where it's at, it doesn't like you're not able to just respond to prompt. Like you literally have to pick one before you can move on. So But anyway, this is on Gemini, y'all. Gemini. No, you're good. Click. So what's on this one? Okay, yes. So here's the big game changer with Gemini compared to ChatGPT in my own day-to-day use. So Gemini will integrate into that Google account. Now, sadly, it does have to be that Google account. But pro tip, you can share files between Google accounts. So if you did want it to like look at some stuff from another account, you could just hit share and put it over. In order to do this,
Does this only exist in KW? KW.
for free.
Oh, I have.
Yes. So let's say you were primarily wanting to use this on your other account, and you're like, man, I love all these features. It works so good on my KW, but I want it on my personal Gmail account. $20 a month, you can enable it on that. So if it's worth $20 a month to you, and it may be, or it may not be, but you get the one on your KW for free. So win. So very short steps to do it. You end up, let's say, I thought I gave the instructions on how to integrate that. Yeah, I'll just show you how to do it real quick. So by default, it does not see your files because it loves your protection, or it loves to protect your data. What you'll do is click on the settings and help button. You will click on apps and scroll down, and by default, this will be turned off. You will want to turn it on, in which case your Gemini will be able to see your Gmail, your Google Docs, your Google Keep, which there's probably like a dozen people in the world that use that, Google Calendar, Google Drive, and your Google Tasks.
So is that, there's one little button at the bottom that says productivity, is that what you turn it on? How do you turn it on?
Let me see what
So
we got.
I just hit,
Scroll down.
Yeah, go further.
Why are you missing yours? Alice, yours always has to have issues, doesn't it?
because I'm in my KW.
Yeah, yours is actually missing that option.
this?
And no, you're in the right account because I see it's in Pro. Of course, on your browser also needs updated, but we'll see. Maybe click on that and try it again. We'll have to look at that one specifically. Does anybody else that's trying to do this? Yeah.
It's the same.
Oh, wait a minute, I didn't scroll up far enough.
Oh,
I have,
Found an email.
fantastic. Okay.
but when I try to switch, it doesn't allow me. It says that he can find that. You know that with me everything is a problem. Every time that we work together,
Yeah.
you find out that.
That doesn't make sense at all. Well, let me check one little thing on that. Let me check the time too. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to check some things on yours, and it's gonna take some time. You got yours there, right? I'll look it up like as soon as the class is over, and yeah. So while we're eating lunch or something, I'll have it for you. All right. So once that's turned on, you do have more access to everything. Let's go ahead and kind of get to the activity. So in this particular case, let's go ahead and have it do a search from your Google Drive. So I'm going to try this one again. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. This thing tried to gaslight me the other day, but we'll see what happens this time. All right, so one of my clients is Justin Stewart. Stewart wants to know how many pets he can have in his apartment. Or townhouse, rather. Sorry.
Right, when you say you're going to Google Drive, what did you do to search in Google Drive?
Show you in a second.
So like you're just starting a new prompt?
Yes, yeah, I'm in a new prompt. So Justin Stewart wants to know how many pets he can have in his townhouse. Look up the HOA information I have for him. And I'm going to put at Google Drive, and it started to pop this up. I'll just go ahead and do Google Drive there. All right.
So you've got it filed.
Yeah.
By his name, and the HOA docs are in that file.
Exactly. This is one of my clients. He bought it. Yeah, exactly. He bought this townhouse, I don't know, 2 months ago. So we'll see here in a second if it figures it out. I was unable to find the specific. No, don't do that. Justin signed agreement. Let's see. To find the information you're looking for, I would recommend viewing the official HOA document. Okay. Well, show me where you're at. So this is okay though. All right, I know the file's in there. I was just being lazy and I was trying to let Gemini do all the work for me. So let me do a little lifting. I'm going to do add from drive. And y'all are about to see how my brain works, I'm sorry. Realtor, clients, buyer, closed, Justin, paperwork, and HOA. Check this doc, please.
That does prevent you from having. Yeah, that'll at least prevent you from having to search through that document.
Yeah. All right. According to the Henley Ridge HOA documents, a resident may have a combined total of up to 3 dogs and cats. The rule also allows for a reasonable number of common household pets. Sweet. Okay, cool.
I believe that's also the city
Probably. So I'm going to do,
How did you get that? I know you found your file.
Yeah.
But then how did you say, look here?
oh, I literally, so whenever I found the file, I just said, check this doc, please. So I hit the little plus button, and I found it through my Google Drive on here. So since it couldn't find specifically the file I was looking for, I just found the file and said, no, look at this one. Now,
You added it from Drive, is that what you did?
yep.
Just kind of,
Yeah, not really adding it, more just directing it. I'm not moving that file anywhere. It's exactly where I left it. Just the
Gemini's now going to the drive.
yeah, Gemini's in the drive. That's one of the nice things. ChatGPT doesn't give you that option. Gemini does give you that option. Like you can actually read information in your drive.
There you go again, running.
Right? So again, this is kind of, okay, so I did have to do a little heavy lifting. Let me take some heavy lifting off of this. Sweet. Create an email to give Justin this information. He has 2 dogs, so this is a win.
You did that in Canvas or you just did it as a prompt?
I can't remember. I thought I clicked. Yep, I did click Canvas. And so literally now I have a subjected email, good news about pets. Hi, Justin. Hope you're having a great week, blah, blah, blah. Fantastic news, rule states, and it gives that information. So then I could just copy and paste that, whichever way you prefer. I could do copy there. Let me go ahead and change that to me. Daniel, oops. One day I'll learn how to spell my name. Or the way I do it, Control A, Control C. Over here, Control V. Speaking of email,
what's Control A? I always do Control C.
yeah,
The whole document?
yeah, A is all.
You don't have to highlight it?
You have to be careful with A because sometimes it grabs the whole window. But what I normally do is grab a small piece and then do Control A. Actually, it wanted to grab the whole window. So again, you have to be careful with Control A sometimes. All right, so let's
Question, Daniel, are these
go for it.
emails that you need to send Justin and, no.
No, actually, ironically, so I had, what made me think of is I have another client that's interested in Henley Ridge, and I happen to have the HOA document from Henley Ridge, so I could technically pull it from that client's file to, you'll get it? Yeah. Let's see. I was wondering, when was the last time I talked to Beth Gladwell via email? Let's find out.
So,
Pete's not here, so we're good.
No, we're good.
so what part of the email, I mean, I guess it's checking everything.
Yes. Yeah, it's
That's fine.
yes, it is deep diving in my email right now. It's going, all right, so what email am I attached to? Okay, Daniel's. Who did he say? Beth Gladwell. And I don't know if it's doing the whole like checking for like Elizabeth or, all that fun stuff too. But at some point here, it will dig through my 50,000 emails.
And if you had deleted the email, would it come back?
If it's deleted, no. Now, I will say in my particular case, I don't really delete emails because you never know whenever you need stuff. I have a tag that says "Done for now," which literally has hundreds of thousands of emails, because that is my, well, I'm done for now. Like, yeah, same difference. Exactly. So the last time you spoke with Beth Gladwell via email was on Thursday, July 17th regarding KW Central YouTube. And I can click on the source here. It actually shows a bunch of different ones and the most recent. So I can just click on it and it's going to launch my Gmail, hopefully to the right email. There you go. You're welcome, Beth. Since I didn't respawn with that, but now I have. So I don't know about y'all, but that's a pretty useful tool. That's a whole lot easier than me digging through.
And
Exactly.
instead of having to look for that email?
Yeah. And so I don't know about y'all, on a regular basis.
Put in the search box.
Could. Yeah. You're good.
Just sometimes
Yeah.
I find with the thing that's so frustrating with Gmail is when you get into long threads, it gets
Right.
really hard to find stuff.
Well, and I think this is where it really comes in handy. So, like you said, trying to parse that out yourself can be difficult. Let's say I was looking for something specific. I could be like, hey, I know I talked to Beth Godwell in November or December of last year about X, Y, and Z. Could you find that email? So instead of the wild goose chase. Exactly.
You can remember and tell it, it's gonna go do the work
All
for
right,
you.
so for me, who's got emails in the other account,
$20.
$20
By that, you mean if it ends in Gmail?
Yes. Yeah.
KW wants you to
Yeah.
run everything through them.
Exactly.
Right, and they're gonna give you everything free. They're paying for all of us.
and so you could ask things like, this is what drives me crazy about this threads.
Yeah.
Know that that's sent me an attachment about blah, blah, blah. But somewhere, there's that whole thread and you'll have to find the attachment.
Yep.
The document that was sent.
Let me glance at this to see which one of these I want to do. Let's see.
Daniel, you're not saying it has to be Beth Gladwell at
No, no.
KW.com.
You saw I just typed Beth Gladwell. Yep.
And you could have also said like, bring up the email that Beth and I had about YouTube videos.
Yeah. Yes. That would have worked just as well, and it would have dug through my email and found reference to YouTube, Beth Gladwell, and pulled up any of those. Let's do the inspection report. I think that's a fun one. Let's see here. I'm going to start a new chat again.
So I'm not clear how you have it look like an inspection report.
Yeah.
How are you gonna say, look in this inspection?
Yes. So I'll go ahead and start with that part right off the bat. All right. So I'm going to find an inspection report in one of my files real quick. Oops, wrong one.
What is the sign down?
Yeah, it's a plus sign.
So are you still in this thing where you're turning things on? Where are you?
No.
No longer.
Yeah, so I'm just,
In new chat?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is literally the equivalent of going to gemini.google.com. Yep.
Go back to the clean slate.
Yep. Burger menu in the top left, and then click the new chat button, which it's not letting me click right now because I'm in a new chat. But
All right, so the plus is just doing, starting a new prompt? Is that what that's for?
no, this is to add files.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Just,
You're good.
just above that is where you put the new.
Right.
Yes, yes, yeah. Yeah, I think she said the plus sign though. So that's, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
clicking
what
on
I
that.
was wondering.
He's gonna do something else from his.
Yeah.
phone.
So I will say, I don't think anybody in here is quite dorky enough for this. The import code, that's a thing. You just ignore that for now. If you ever get into coding, like give me a yell. I love coding, it's fun. But upload files and add from drive is literally that. So again, you have the wonderful ability to just pull from your drive with Gemini. That's one of the great things about it. Or if you haven't put it into your Google Drive, you could do the upload files and grab something from your computer.
Will you do it by
Upload files.
Well, I'll click. It's one of these. I'm sure everybody's seen this before.
go to our desktop or
Yep.
wherever we
Yep.
need to go?
Let's see. Where's downloads on this one? Right here. Where's a file? Notice the property showing agreement.
Now, why would you
Hey.
be uploading a file?
If you didn't have it in your drive.
Oh,
So-
the one that you,
Yeah.
that came up on the screen.
Yep. Since y'all went this way, I'm just going to divert for a second anyway. So I'm going to grab the lead-based paint TA. I don't know if that's the right one. Is that the right one? Property showing agreement. I can't remember if that's the real one or if it's just the, we'll just go ahead and go with it. Give me a summary to tell a client about lead paint. Lead? Yeah, paint.
So you're showing it that document and then telling it, hey, give me the short version,
Exactly.
so my client can understand it. And
Yeah. Wow, that is not a summary. Then I will say what's cool though, you see all these little
maybe give you the
things, the little like chain pieces. So you can click on those and it pulls up in the document where you're talking about. So like literally you can go through, click,
So
click,
if you were
click.
going through an offer and purchase with somebody, same thing, or a
Yeah.
listing agreement or whatever, you can have your computer right there and it highlights
Yeah, yeah,
and explains. Okay.
you definitely could, yeah.
If you wanted to do this inspection report and say, bring up where, condensation in the windows is referenced, can you do specific things like that?
Yeah, 100%. Let me actually hop in here. Let's blah, 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 blah. Buyers.
And then when you ask it where, issues
One
with
here.
windows, because it'll give you all the issues with your windows, or depending on how specific you are.
Yeah.
And that way
John.
so
Inspection
that way you
report.
don't have to scroll through your whole inspection report is what you're doing.
Yep.
Daniel, have you ever Gemini'd yourself?
I have not yet.
Just Gemini'd me.
Oh, how'd it come back?
I mean, I'm somewhat impressed, other than the last paragraph is, it is important to note that there is another prominent Mike McCann team that is highly rated in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
I was like, who cares about him? But it's kind of interesting what comes up. I mean, my phone number, my email address.
Did
My
you ask
average-
that as a realtor, just as yourself, just tell me about
So,
Mike McCann?
the prompt that I put in was, tell me about Mike McCann, who is a real estate agent in North Carolina.
And it gave you real information
I
about
went
your
to North Carolina, Keller Williams, that shows my experience where I started, last 12 months sales data,
Oh my goodness.
total since tracking, how many sales? Yeah.
All right.
Street address, ice cream.
So this little guy, what I did, I took an inspection. I'm going to tell it this is a pre-listing inspection. Please create a checklist for John, my client, with the issues needing addressed in order of importance. I can't.
And write my DDRA.
I'm really tempted to throw another thing in here. Let's see. This may fail miserably, but I'm going to try it anyway. When available, please suggest 2 to 3 vendors per issue that could be hired to do them in near that address.
You did that earlier, after you know, and it's still,
So while I know this is going to big brain for a while. What kind of questions y'all have about this as it's going? Yes.
I have a really, really stupid.
No, please.
I don't even know what a Google Drive is.
Sure.
I don't
No, that's no
use
problem.
Google Drive.
Yeah. So you kind of do. You just don't realize it. So Google Drive is just part of like your Google Suite, like your Gmail and all that. But it's a place where you can store files.
I mean, I only think Google that I know of that I use is Gmail.
Sure. Your Gmail automatically has a Google Drive account tied to it.
Do you create like any documents in there? Like do you use Google, what's it called? Google Docs
Yeah.
to write papers or anything?
So you can. And what do you currently use to back up your stuff, like OneDrive or?
To back up my computer,
Yes.
I just have a separate,
Like an external drive?
yeah,
Okay, sure.
I don't, maybe, something else may be backing it up, I don't know, that's a good question.
Gotcha. I will suggest, so the physical backups are fantastic. Um,
Oh, and the thing that Apple does,
so you have an iCloud backup.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. It's not going to help you as much with the Google Docs. You would have to manually like point it towards the files like we did, like go, hey, look at this file. Or so like this inspection report, it was a little quicker for me because it was in my Google Drive. But if you had it on your computer, yeah, you could just point to it manually. But as you see, it actually pulled up client Jonathan Latta. It's got his address, critical repairs. It's talking about the moisture, the leaky subfloor, active floor leaks. It's got 3 companies that it's suggesting in Hillsborough. For the plumbing issues, it's got 3 other companies. Electrical,
Are these
3 other companies.
These companies they're bringing up,
Yeah.
are they some that you had in your?
No, this is doing Google searches.
What was your prompt?
This is a long prompt. This is a pre-listing inspection. Please create a checklist for John, my client, with the issues needing addressed in order of importance. When available, please suggest 2 to 3 vendors per issue that could be hired to do them near that address.
And it gave you that report right there.
Yes.
Near that address. Okay,
Yeah.
so that-
Yep. I wanted to, I figured it probably would anyway, but I just wanted to like clarify so that it wasn't pulling from like Charlotte or something like that. But yeah, it ran right through each one of those. I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. Love it. Could you add phone numbers for each vendor? And at some point here, it'll start, you'll actually see it kind of like changing on the fly. And again, I also like this because if you had a specific vendor that you like or something like that, you could manually go in here and add it before you copy and paste this over.
You can manipulate all that text.
Yeah, anything over in this box I can change. I'm waiting for the little spinny wheel to stop because it'll probably try to override me or I may confuse it. One of the two. It won't end pretty if I start typing right now.
Can you,
Yeah.
Can you do this with text? Find the text where we talked about double rainbows?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Oh, well, no. For text, no. I'm sorry. It is currently just with Google products. So it would be your Gmail and stuff like that. Technically, it would be a pain. No. The answer is yes if you do some really dumb stuff that takes way too much time. So, but currently, no. With what?
You know my recording issue?
Actually, maybe. I haven't tried it, but because it does a transcript, you have the text file with your recording, so yeah. So through here, you see that it just kind of added all these. And let's say I really don't like, let's say CQC, I don't know, the builder peed in my sink or something. So or that person, it's something crazy. I can replace that with whatever I want, if that was the case. And it's right here.
just delete it and it would only show 2.
Yeah, you could definitely do that instead. Yep. So if I wanted, I have a feeling it's, oops.
And then you could also say something like highly rated, or I don't know where you would say rated by Better Business Bureau or something like that.
Yep. You could manually go through and say, let's say I really like build X. I don't know. I could like bold that one, or actually unbold it. It already is bold. Change stuff out with it. It has some normal, like some basic functionality here. Of course, whenever you actually send it to copy and paste it to your email, it would really come in handy as well. So I apologize. We're kind of running over on time with it. Normally, yes, we'll pass that out. 2 quick things. So normally I would be covering this on Thursday with y'all.